A very good morning to one and all. I like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity and hope this is the right time to have discussion on the topics on biofilm. Hope all are safe. Please take care of you all. We will soon come out from this pandemic situation since the vaccines are getting ready. My kind request, please eat well and include immune modulators and immune stimulators in your food. Our Siddha medicines are great in curing all kinds of diseases. These medicines understand our body system and react accordingly. But the recognition from Western needs time. Please include pepper, langa pepper, ginger, lemon, licorice powder, dry ginger, coriander powder, greens, vegetable soups in your food regularly. Try to drink hot water. Keep your throat wetted with the hot water once in 30 minutes. Move with the mask and keep distancing and don't come out without any reason. These are all the preventing measures for you and your family to prevent from the infection. The scenario will continue till September, it seems. Once we will see the decline in the graph pattern, we can have a normal and routine life like BC, that is before corona. Well, today's topic of my presentation is microbial biofilm is beneficial or harmful? There will be great doubt in our minds. It is clearly known that how come the microbial biofilms, we are very known about the microbial biofilms, how it affects the human health, but how come they are beneficial too? Really, does the microbial biofilms have any beneficial effect? Let us see. But before going to the topic, we can see a brief introduction on microbes and biofilm. Microbes, we know that without microbes, our life in this earth is questionable. They are the one doing their job very sincerely without expecting any awards, rewards, recognition, promotion, etc. Their focus is only to grow and support their kids to grow further and instruct them how to live in this earth. Even if time comes, they will sacrifice their life for their kids and it becomes nutrients to their generations. They are not bothering about others. Whatever the instruction encoded in their genes, they will perform. Even they are not away on the instructions encoded, but when the situation comes, there is a spark, immediately the genes in the dormant react and finally give life to these microbes. You can see the growth of microbes in extreme environmental conditions. There is no wonder in that because they know, microbes know for what purpose they are existing in this planet Earth. We have to learn more from microbes on how we have to live peacefully even under stress conditions. Like us, microbes are grouped under different categories based on their size, shape, living conditions, working capacity in extreme conditions. We are not going to see the details. And from our lead researcher and pioneers and Nobel laureates, starting from Antony van Leeuwenhoek, Joubert, Carlos Linnaeus, Charles Darwin, S. Mayer, Carl Woese, Louis Pasteur, Robert coach Richard Julius Petri, Hans Christian Graham, we can able to go into the world of microbes or microbiology. They explore the details on how microbes live, adapt, multiply, secreting enzymes, secreting metabolites, biotic compounds, etc., which are beneficial to the human beings at larger extent. No one can deny the role of lactobacillus species in keeping the human gut and digestion. We know how our human bodies, now we have seen the microbes, let us go to see the how human body is in relation with the microbial biofilms. We know our human body is peculiar. The advancement of science and technology, which keeps us moving to understand what is the origin of life and to support and unravel the magic behind the human organs and its replacement. Hope you are all well aware that most of our body organs, if we face any difficulties, it can be easily replaced with the artificial one so that the life of the person is not dependent on others. Recent innovations add value to these artificial organs. These are grouped under medical devices, and most of the healthcare industries are making money through this. There is a great opportunity for the biomedical and biotechnology students in this field of biomedical devices since the demand is increasing day by day. From the image shown in the slide, it tells you that what are the organs that can be replaced with the artificial ones to support the human survival. These artificial organs are fabricated in such a way that it should be biocompatible. Since our body is made up of 60% of water, these materials should be resistant to the various pH conditions of the body. But their resistance to microbes is still questionable. That's why every day we are facing problem during some surgical procedures. As already told, microbes are very unique. They can live wherever they find the places. The question may come, how come these microbes thrive where they couldn't find any required nutrients, for example, in the form of medical devices? There comes a new strategic plan made by the microbes as they construct their house in that they can entangle themselves and survive for longer periods. The house what they construct is what we called as biofilm. Let us see how biofilm is constructed by the microbes. The first step is the surface attachment and microcolony formation. This surface attachment and colony formation is different in bacterial species. The research output on biofilm studies suggested that environmental signals and regulatory proteins play the major role in the first step. Even these environmental signals are also play the role during the maturation of the biofilm. As bacteria can sense the contact, and as described, the genes are triggered to promote stable cell surface interactions, and according to the researcher, they described as CPX signaling, and this signaling follows two pathways, that is CPX-A and CPX-R, depends on the surface whether it is hydrophobic or hydrophilic. These signals are activated. So majorly the signals and the surface nature can activate the cells to attach to the surface. The question on if at all they are activated inside the cell, how come they will be transmitted and who will act as a postman over here? There comes the outer membrane protein, and regulate the pili. That is, the pili is there, P is there. Once the pili is activated, the osmolarity present in the cell surface interacts and support the attachment. The osmolarity is governed by the environmental conditions. That is the most important factor that has influence on the surface attachment. The role of osmolarity in biofilm formation, that too in the medical devices, needs intensive research. If anyone interested in biofilm research, they can concentrate on this topic of research. It will be a kind of very good research and we can have new theories on that. Okay, once followed by surface attachment, microcolony formation starts with the availability of nutrients. Each bacterial and fungal species have wide difference in the microcolony formation, and in the case of Pseudomonas aeruginosa, the type 4 peelers mediates the microcolony formation. The following image over here, there is a development and becomes thicker over here. You can now imagine if the depth is increased, the thickness of the mat, whether it will have any impact on the metabolism of the entangled cells. Instead of metabolism, catabolism repression inhibit the biofilm formation, and here also various signaling molecules play the role. In the case of Bacillus subtilis, the transcription factors represents the depth of the biofilm. In E. coli, the C-reactive proteins, receptor protein involved in the process. In Pseudomonas, RBOS transcription factor directs the process. This signal limits the nutrients to the cells. And because of these transcription factors, the planktonic cells start moving to the surface for nutrients. As discussed, if the biofilm is so dense and the cells are entangled in the mid phase of the biofilm and could not find nutrients and they are under severe starvation condition, the activation of transcription factors to reduce the biofilm depth, and the cells will come out and look for another surface to attach or sit. The activation of various transcription factors and its presence in the biofilm is considered as a quorum sensing. Various research findings on quorum sensing compounds for biofilm forming microorganisms are there in the public domain. One more important factor determining the architecture is nothing but the surface active agents. That is the surfactant produced by the biofilm producing microorganisms. These surface active agents facilitate the spore containing fruiting bodies. They simply mediate the fruiting body formation and the formation of pillar structures by reducing the surface tension. Even the formation of water channels to distribute nutrients affected through surface active agents. So once the biofilm attached, colony formation, it matured. Then what could be the size? How much the thickness will be? When you are going to see the thickness of the biofilm, it is usually in the range of 0.2 to 1 millimeter. And according to the researcher, it does not exceed 10 to 30 nanometer. In that, the cells will occupy 5 to 35%. The remaining is the biofilm, and it contains nothing but the polysaccharides, proteins and the DNA molecule, and the remaining is the water. Okay, once it has been mature, it's time for thriving nutrients for the cells inside. They have to come out. So what will happen? Next comes the detachment of biofilm. So similar to the formation of biofilm, detachment also needs signals for enzyme production, which hydrolyze the biofilm and release the cells. These enzymes may be different for different organisms. So far we can understand how the biofilm formation initiated and matured, and what are all the factors facilitate these biofilms. Now we are going to see how these biofilms affect medical devices. It has been reported that 65% of all bacterial infections or the fungal infections are associated with the biofilm formation, which includes devices or non-devices also. With respect to device-related infections, the literature give the statistics. 2% of breast implants are getting affected by this kind of biofilm formation. 2% of joint prosthesis, 10% of vertical shunts, and 40% of ventricular assisted devices, and 4% of pacemakers and defibrillators, and 4% of heart valves. This is the statistics on biofilm in medical devices. When you are going to see what kind of microbes are responsible for this kind, whether it is a single type or it is a mixture. In some of the infections, it seems to be a single type, but in most of the biomedical devices, it is a mixtures or the combination of two more organisms. With respect to contact lens infection and biofilm formation, mainly the gram-negative bacteria and the Candida species are responsible for that. And with respect to urinary catheters, the major threat is for gram-positive organisms, or mainly the gram-negative organisms are responsible for the catheter infections. With respect to heart valves, the major organisms are grouped under Streptococcus and gram-negative Bacillus species. The major reason in heart valve is due to that during the surgery and implantation, as a foreign body, the tissue damage will occur and the platelet got aggregated, which invite bacterial species to colonize and form biofilm. If we give antibiotic therapy continuously after the surgery, it may reduce the bacterial infection. And with respect to non-medical devices, majorly the kind of the best example is periodontitis. It's an infection in the gums, and with respect to gums, with this slide will be how here biofilm formation there in the lung. The comparisons, you can see that the epithelial cells of the healthy lung have the very good airway and covered with a thin mucus layer, whereas the area of cystic fibrosis lung contains a thick sticky mass mucus including bacterial biofilms, which lead to the damaging of the cells and the breathing problems. Similarly, with respect to caries formation, a dental plaque, this is mainly due to the biofilm formations, and slowly it eats away the enamel. This slide will show you how come the Streptococcus mutans are involved in the biofilm formation. So they are going to attach and start adhering and encashing and forming a house, and then they mature and they will start eating. Because of this attachment and other things, our enamel get degraded, it will be dissolved, and then finally the caries formation is there. This image will show you how come the caries affect the whole tooth by some images. And With reference to our research, we did we found a new compound, gujaivari, a plant flavonoid. It acts as a very good antiplaque agent against Streptococcus mutans. It's a very good compound. We have received number of citations for this research article. And compared to the type of organisms involved in medical devices, Pseudomonas aeruginosa ranks first, followed by Staph and Streptococcus aureus. Okay, in that case, in all those things, why it has been considered as harmful? If the microbial cells are in planktonic form or in the form of free cells, the antibiotics can able to lyse the cells through various antibiotic events. However, if it is in the biofilm form, the penetration of antibiotic drugs is restricted, and even if the meager quantities are available inside the matrix, the cell starts recognize the antibiotic and start developing resistance towards the antibiotics, and thus the biofilm cells acquire resistance. Now the research field is directed towards the development of medicines for antibiotic resistance organisms, but still we have to go a long way. And we did some studies on Candida albicans. There, the biofilm formation has been completely restricted by the plant active components from Acarus calamus. So it is a well established research article. It is there in the public domain. It controls the biofilm in such a way that even we can't able to see within 18 hours the Candida biofilm is completely dissolved, and it is not allowing the Candida species to form the biofilm. So far we can able to see the harmful effects. What could be the beneficial effect of biofilm? In the field of environment and pollution management, most of the persistent organic compounds and polymeric materials are nuisance to the environment. In this materials, microbial methods of management is not effective because microbes could not recognize those polymeric materials or the persistent organic compounds as your food or energy. But compared to physical and chemical methods of management of these pollutants, microbial methods are less energy intensive process. But the interaction between the high surface hydrophobicity restrict the microbes for degradation. There, these biofilm formation facilitate the degradation. This is what I want to stress you. Biofilm formation has very good beneficial effect with respect to the degradation or the management of strong polymeric or resistant compounds. With respect to our study, the recent study, I think you know about the thermocol waste. These thermocol waste are not degradable, and it can be there for longer years, even the marine sediments and other things. But recently, we found that a gut microbes as well as the marine microbes can able to form a very good biofilm on the thermocol waste. This is the image, it has been shown over there, and we can able to degrade this thermocol very nicely, and it has been transformed into a single monomer like styrene has been released in the medium. So it strongly indicates that Biofilm formation is the only method of enhancing or increasing or accelerating the degradation of these thermocol waste. This image will show you how it can be done, and this is the schematic representation where the biofilm formation will be there and then it leads to degradation. That the formation of biofilm takes much time, but with the reference to surface modification of these potential waste, it is possible to make the material to attract microbes, and it is possible to degrade them effectively without damaging the environment. So thus it is possible to have both harmful effects are there with the living beings and beneficial effects are there with the non-living materials. So in the case of non-living material, the formation of biofilm facilitate the effective degradation and thus beneficial to the ecosystem. With this, I can finish my presentation. Thank you. For any questions, kindly mail me. Thank you so much.